Time for interview number 2 tonight here on Pyro Radio. I'm reaching out to an old friend of mine, DJ, producer, live streamer, interactive family member. He does it all, and he does it all to a high level. FABIAN DUBZ, what's happening, bro?
Yo, I love your introduction, Jay. Dope.
Well,
a few more things to it, but
I know. I was erring on the side of caution by just gassing you just 80% rather than the full 100%, man. But you know, it's good.
I'm there, man.
It's good to have you here, man. I mean, it's been, I checked, it was about six months nearly since we had you on the show last time. So I thought, you know what? Let's connect with you. We've been playing some of your tracks recently as well. So yeah, man, let's check in with you and see how you are. Firstly,
all good, man. 6 months. That's a long time, yeah. But it's good. It's good in a way because time is, you know, in this time is getting by, which is probably the best thing of all that.
Let's jump straight into it, man, because some of us have been super active on the decks over the last few months, even though there's still no clubs and festivals. Some of us haven't really had a chance to do it. But for you, how do you do, or what are the tips for doing good DJ mixes when you've got the kids around, when the family's around? What are the tips, bruv? Educate me.
Do you know what? I've always been someone that hasn't been too prepared, but having kids around is something that actually gets you into that zone. Just try and have your preparation ready, basically. Just, you know, track wise, you know, even if it's not something that's like quite thorough, just put a few tracks in and go, yeah, I've got a certain idea of what I'm going to be playing, and the rest is more or less a freestyle. But as long as you have certain times in the day, you think, yeah, I can get that done, and you know, good surroundings, baby safe, baby proof, then it's all good.
Exactly, baby proof the decks, man. It's got to be
yeah, at the height.
So also you've been active, and I spoke to Fizzy on the phone recently. You know, he's been involved in the UK game and UKG for a long time, and obviously you connected with him recently. I've seen the MC Fizzy show and your involvement in there as well. Explain how that kind of came around and what it's all about, bro.
Yeah, so just during lockdown, it's given a lot of us a chance to get back in the studio and get things done. And obviously, the last time I spoke to yourself, it was to do with EZ's Nouveau project. And a lot of things kind of spiraled from there, Fizzy being one of them. And he actually DM'd me straight away. As soon as the news broke of the launch of Nouveau, he said, get me a rhythm, and I did, and the rest is down in history. You know, we got stuff popping, and then and then in turn he invited me to do the Fizzy show as well. So it's been, you know, I think one of the words that comes of recent is pandemic success, and it's good that, you know, that things can still happen in that nature, you know.
Yeah, do you know what? Pandemic success. I actually haven't heard of that phrase, so I'm gonna lodge it in my brain as like a buzz phrase. But no, it's good, man. I mean, there's a lot of musicians, a lot of artists, people in the game we've spoken to over the last like year now, and some people are feeling demotivated. Some people have achieved really good results, but don't feel like they have. And sometimes it's, you know, it's reminding people that, you know what, think about what you've achieved and what you're doing. And that's in light of a madness that's happening. So that's real success, you know, when everything's been super challenging, man. Definitely.
Yeah, I do agree.
Now, also, we always end up talking about UK Garage, you and me, whenever we catch up. Like, you can't get away from it, man. But you can't get away from it. But I'm always like very careful, because I never want conversations to always fall into the UK Garage category, which invariably gives us the conversation of, is there going to be a garage revival? Word revival always comes up. And that kind of does my head in, because it's like, I swear we have this conversation, everyone has this conversation every summer, every spring, every year, UKG coming around. But there's definitely, from what I've seen as a fan of music, there's definitely more music coming around that has certain elements that really appeals to me. but sounds like new music and not just 20-year-old music. That's the key for me. How are you seeing things from your end?
Yeah, do you know what? I fully agree with you, because it got to the stage where I think after the wave of UKG, garage, whatever you want to call it, it kind of got to the stage where, you know, I think the height of it was really big. It did sweep the UK at the time, and I think a lot of us in the scene were like kind of there wishing that era would last a little bit longer. And I think I came right over the mountain and down the other side in the hopes. But I'm talking like after your 2010s, 15s, and I just thought, oh, do you know what? It is what it is. We'll just get on with it, and you know, just not kind of sit on that fence waiting. But of recent, there's a lot going on, and it's funny when you said about the 20-year-old thing, because there are kind of 20-year-olds in the scene, like pioneering the sound, or just being able to do it as their next record, as opposed to a drill track or grime track or UK rap. And it's really good to see, and that kind of puts it in, you know, in the tier of all your other kind of urban UK genres. And so yeah, it's quite exciting to see what's going on at the moment, Jay.
Yeah, definitely, man. We love that energy, and you know, we're getting near that time of year where we can possibly start to dream about festival season and all this good stuff. So obviously no one really knows what's going to happen until, like, you know, you're there in the festival. Either you bought your ticket or you're there with your USBs ready to DJ on stage. But just break it down for me briefly, what it would feel like for Inside Out Festival to hit summer 2021.
Wow, that is, you know, that it's a kind of sight for sore eyes in a way, because even you asking that question, I see the organisers of that festival actively posting on a daily basis, like it is coming. I'm hoping it will come, and like you said, I will be there whether I'm a ticket holder or a DJ.
You're there.
I'll be there. Yeah. Quite mouth-watering to think, you know.
Definitely, man. Now let's keep it in that kind of location, that kind of area. You're locked to Pyro Radio, me, Jay Fresh, joined by Fabian Dubz on the phone line right now, repping Cardiff, Wales, all that good stuff for a very long time now. Everyone who has been in the DJ game for a while, there's always those people who came before them. They're like the OGs of the scene, or the big promoters, or the people who like help you along your way. And recently, all over social media, there was a lot of emotion around a figurehead of the scene where you're based in the country, and his sad passing as well. And there was a big live stream recently as well. So DJ Raheem,
that's right. Yeah.
What's your fondest memory? Because I wasn't lucky enough to meet him, but lots of people like yourself who are connected in that area all speak incredibly highly of this guy. And do you know what I mean? I just want to know where you're at with things, man.
Yeah, do you know what? That's a very nice thing to mention, and it's someone, you know, even you mentioning that alone, it just goes to show how strong a figure he was, and you know, he came from the ground upwards, and he inspired. He was probably one of my main local inspirations of kind of just being on the heels of music. I think I've got two. I've probably got 22 memories, which are quite good. But I think if we go back to that wave of UKG, I remember for us vinyl collectors, I used to kind of go around the country and hunt for the white labels. I remember Miss Dynamite, and alongside other tracks being well sorted by myself, or well sorted by myself. And at the time, I wasn't actually an active DJ, compared to him anyway, compared to Raheem. And I just used to, one of my things was kind of standing next to him and feeding him white label, and he'd be playing it, and I think because it came from me, I took some kind of glory to it. And even to this day, I've never seen those records.
But there you go, man. I mean, that's a wicked story, and there's always those things as DJing that it's more than, to those of us who are in it, really in it, it's more than just a job. It's more than just playing a few tracks. It's the people you meet, it's the memories, it's the whole, it's very much part of who you are, man.
Most definitely.
Now, we're going to get into a track of yours that I've been playing the last couple of weeks here at Pyro. I'm talking about No Mercy.
Yes, and thank you for the support on that. Yeah, you're always big.
No, welcome, man. So just before we play it right here, give us a little breakdown about how that track came around, where did the idea come from, how long did it take you to put together, and and then we'll give it a spin, my bro.
So I'm sure, for new music fans, guest Parsaloo and Backroad G on a track called No Mercy. I heard it when it dropped, and I was like, yo, this sample is absolutely crazy. And it's funny because I heard an interview, and I think it was Guest describing the elements on the record, and he made this song, and he said, "Oh, people, you'll understand when you've heard it." And then I did, and I was like, "Yo, this could just be worked into a kind of festival record, right?" And I think that's one thing with me. As much as I love making original music, I've got some kind of sort of gaming addiction to kind of taking something and changing it, and not wanting to own it, but just to do it in more of an appreciation or an ode to that, to the original record, and I've done exactly that. And I kind of, you hear these things and you picture them beforehand, and you think, oh yeah, I could be doing this, or this could be how it sounds. And I think I've done a pretty good justice on against the original. So yeah, man, that's how that one kind of popped up.
Sick. Well, I mean, like I said, I've been playing it for a little while now. You've gassed us for it. So Pyro Radio, Fabian Dubz, thank you so much for joining us today. Please introduce that track you were just talking about, and we'll put it on right here, right now.
This is Fabian Dubz and Mercy. Again.